Life may have once been a tragedy for Arthur Fleck, but for Warner Brothers, that tragedy became a very successful venture. With the Joker movie making over $1 billion at the box office, it's safe to assume that there could be a sequel in the works. But what could happen if this sequel actually came to fruition? Hey guys, my name is DJ, and a few weeks ago, Joker fans rejoiced in celebration. The box office success was announced to be in talks for a sequel, and that concept, if anything, is very intriguing. The first movie was a dark depiction of Gotham City, showing how Arthur Fleck can just turn into a deranged and psychopathic clown killer. And even though the movie garnered a lot of success, $1 billion worth as a matter of fact, it's kind of safe to assume that the movie was never really meant to have a sequel. There are so many hints to it all either just being in Arthur's head or as a part of a made-up backstory that this overall vague feel of the movie is just that. The vague undertone combined with how the entire movie feels, completed with the last few scenes of the movie, doesn't really lend itself to needing a sequel. Which is a fact that I, for one, can stand behind. I mean, the real need for a sequel to the Joker movie, it's not really there for me. And before the recent talks between DC and the director Todd Phillips, I wasn't really expecting to see a sequel anytime soon. Personally, I believe the Joker movie just doesn't need to have a part 2. The movie, within its 2-hour runtime, shows pretty much everything I wanted from the Joker. It shows this transformation from Arthur Fleck into the deranged clown prince of crime. But even though I personally am not a massive fan of the idea of a Joker sequel, that's not what the video title is about. No, instead I'm working under the assumption that the Joker movie is actually happening. So if the Joker sequel is in the works, then what exactly can be done when making this film that actually makes it worthwhile? Well, let's actually look at the first Joker film for some information. And right out of the gate, when looking at the first movie, I can confidently say that there is no need for Batman in this Joker sequel. While watching the movie for the first time, I for one thought the Wayne family inclusion was not interesting at all. Sometimes it was even a bit frustrating to watch. The idea of Arthur Fleck and Bruce Wayne being stepbrothers just, it felt kind of wrong, and I for one thought it was the worst part of the entire movie. The Joker and Batman are already inseparable. You cannot really mention one without feeling the urge to mention the other. But dropping the hint of the two being bonded by blood felt really shoehorned in. It was a side plot that, if cut out of the movie entirely, could have perhaps improved upon it. I understand the want for Arthur's mom, Penny Fleck, to have her own part of the story, but her being put into the hospital was enough. Sure, it's a Joker movie. The Wayne family definitely needed to be a part of it somehow. But I don't think they needed to have such a prominent role, or at least a role where they explain the idea of Joker and Batman being brothers. Just feels weird. Just feels wrong to say. That's not even a part of the script. That's coming out of my mouth. That just felt weird. So for the sequel, why would we continue this ham-fisted attempt at having the Joker be related to Bruce Wayne? Especially since the second movie doesn't even really need that side plot. It can just play off the ending of the first movie. Which leads into the next and probably most obvious idea. Make the entire movie based in Arkham Asylum. Instead of trying to express the fact that this is a Batman movie with the inclusion of the Dark Knight himself, you could instead achieve that effect by having various members of his rogues gallery join Arthur in Arkham Asylum. Batman's rogues gallery is so deep that even just a one-off comment about one of his various villains would make a lot of sense in this time period. It even makes sense to add more villains, as director Todd Phillips has stated previously that he wants to make more movies about the various villains in the DC universe. So adding a few more criminals into the Joker movie could actually be very satisfying to everyone. And like I mentioned, it wouldn't be too difficult to find out exactly how to introduce these villains into the story. Off the top of my head, you could include Hugo Strange as a psychiatrist, Killer Croc as an inmate for being a savage monster crocodile man, or Scarecrow as a fellow deranged inmate. Or if you want to make the sequel have a kinda similar feel to the first movie, why not create an entirely new character? Why not have Joker's influence, his mass hysteria that seems to be able to spread like wildfire, affect just one inmate? What if one of Joker's men was influenced by him? What if we have a story similar to Harley Quinn's? What if the Joker manipulated someone else into becoming his henchman, providing us with another story about what makes someone else truly evil? Now, truthfully, I wouldn't really want this person to be Harley Quinn. It seems obvious, and we've seen that story played out a bit too many times. I mean, the first mention of the name Harleen Quinzel, and then you're gonna find out immediately what happens next. But what if instead of a psychiatrist working on the old noggin of the Joker, what if instead we apply that insanity to someone else? What if we apply it to a follower of the Joker? What if Joker influences someone to become another deranged and murderous monster? I'm not saying Joker influences someone else to wear clown makeup. No, I'm saying that he creates someone completely different. He turns someone else into a new evil, a different kind of evil. Now, this could be a new character, or perhaps even another villain in the Batman mythos. I mean, Batman has plenty of deranged villains. You just gotta pick one. Either way, though, this look into the Joker's absolute manipulation on someone else could be very interesting to watch. It takes the theme of the first movie, the transformation of evil, and applies it in a completely different way. I mean, if there is anyone who would be susceptible to the Joker's sick ideas, it would be the mentally ill people in the Arkham Hospital. Through this look at what life is like for Arthur in Arkham Asylum, we could see just what it's like for someone else to become crazy. Or, even better, for someone to become evil. And that's what I think the Joker sequel, if anything, should really be about. The dissection of how insanity and pure evil is created in an entirely different way than the first movie. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is where Joker 2 should go. It should try to go to a new, deranged, and dark place, taking the theme of the first movie and applying it into a totally different and new way. Let's just see what happens when we turn Ted Bundy into Charles Manson. Let's see what happens if we turn the complete and utter evil of the Joker into a manipulative force of destruction. Anyways, that's gonna have to be the end of this video here. Did you guys like it? Let me know in the comments below. If you want to see more of my over-analytic and dorky content, why not check out this video here? And while you're staring at this outro screen, why not click this little subscribe button? Anyways, hope you have a good day, and I'll catch you later. Bye-bye! Yo.